What's going on, Internet? My name is Psycho Max. Welcome back for another Warframe Wednesday video from yours truly. This is just something I do because I love Warframe and I want to be a Warframe content creator, and so I am making videos just showing off my builds and other random things. And as I promised last week when I highlighted Wisp as part of the current Prime Resurgence, this week we are handling Hildryn, and I'm just again, showing off my build. So if this is something you enjoy, please remember to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me. And if you have any critiques, want to share your own builds, have video requests that you'd like to make, feel free to leave them in the comments down below or on my private Discord server linked in the description. So, Hildryn is a unique Warframe because unlike every one of them that we've featured so far, she uses her shields as energy. She does not have an energy pool of her own. She uses her defenses to upgrade her offense and whatnot. And so you can see I can't pick up any energy orbs. Now, it's not to say Hildryn can't pick up energy orbs. She can, but instead of giving her energy, it converts it into shields whenever she picks one up. So, let's go over her build really quick. First, let's look at her Archon shards. I have one Tau shield capacity shard in here, just for bonus shields, because with Hildryn you want the most shields possible. And I don't have any others in here, but I will tell you what I plan on putting in here for the other 4 spots are Tau Topaz shards with the modifier on them that says that anytime Hildryn does blast damage with an ability, it restores her shields. But with that in mind, Hildryn has an exalted weapon that is uniquely moddable, and I have put blast damage on it. Now, I'm also using electricity on here because I do believe it has some niche use with something. I wanted to say Archon Stretch, but no, Archon Stretch doesn't work on her because she doesn't use energy. You'll also notice I don't have an Exilis mod in here. If I was to put one in here, it would require more Forma that I'm not sure I want to invest. And besides that, the Exilis mods available really aren't adding anything to this build on her Balefire Charger that gives it anything worthwhile. So yeah, like the best you could possibly do in that spot is, I was looking at it a bit earlier, you could do lethal momentum for some projectile speed or targeting subsystems for some better accuracy. But that's about it, and both of those stats, because of the main build on Hildryn herself, those stats really aren't worth a damn, because once again we are using an augment with our build, and that is Aegis Gale. Balefire has an alternative fire during Aegis Storm. The blast deals 15% of Hildryn's max shields as additional damage. And that's why those Topaz shards giving her extra shields back are so important, because keeping her topped up on her shields is making sure that you are always doing maximum damage. So in addition to that, we have Prime Redirection in here. I'm using Adaptation for a little bit more survivability, but if you wanted, you could swap that out for even more shields in the form of like Prime Vigor, which gives you another 75% shield capacity. Hildryn really doesn't take a lot of damage because in addition to that, we're using Aerodynamic and Aviator, because while she's activated her 4th ability, which is Aegis Storm, you can see by the video, she hovers in the air, and there's like an AoE bubble around her that, yeah, it grabs enemies and suspends them in the air, and as they die, they drop energy orbs, and you can pick those energy orbs, it'll convert them into shields. But ultimately, when she's hovering in the air, she can't be hurt, and I have just enough range on her that 26 meters grabs pretty much everything within firing range that can actually do damage to Hildryn. And for the few enemies with Overguard that can't be grabbed by that because it is a form of crowd control, well, that's where Aegis Gale comes into place. You just focus the enemies that have Overguard, and they die in seconds, no matter what level they're at, and you're good to go. The other unique mod in this build is Boreal's Hatred, giving us yet another bit of shield capacity. And you'll notice we're rocking maximum efficiency. I have Fleeting Expertise in here, rank 5, and Boreal's Hatred gives us that last 15% that we don't get from Fleeting Expertise, and it also reduces more damage while airborne, I think giving us a maximum of 90% damage reduction while airborne between the 3 of those mods. And then from there, we just went full-on strength and range. Lots and lots of range. The other thing you could probably swap this out to would be more power strength. So if you wanted, you could throw a blind rage in there, which hopefully with the Archon shards I put in will make this very niche. Like, I'll be able to do that. I can take adaptation out. I won't have to worry about damage mitigation quite so much, and I can actually go for more power strength and more firepower. The other unique thing about the build I'm rocking is I subsumed over her 3 for Zephyr's Airburst to gather enemies into one location. That way it's easier to use her second ability, Pillage, to strip enemies of shields and armor and convert them into more shields for Hildryn, again giving her that nice top-up so that she's never low on shields. So, that's the build. I think it's pretty effective, even though it is arguably incomplete. There's no real argument. It's not complete. I don't have the rest of my Archon shards. So, let's go ahead and I'm going to pause just for now so you can see the damage. We'll spawn in our 20 Dedicants. I've got the Balefire Charger up and ready to go. And if we just shoot this guy, first of all, you can see it's already doing some okay damage to their Overguard. But when you combine that, wrong ability, it's still using the wrong mouse, or yeah, with her hover ability, first of all, you can see that it's already stealing energy from them and converting it into my shields. But then we hit that alt fire on the Bale Charger, and suddenly they just don't have Overguard anymore. So, normally, obviously, this wouldn't be the niche case. I don't typically run out of shields when I'm playing Hildryn. Of course, that's usually because you're going to start by doing this. You're going to hit her 2 a few times, you're going to top up, you're going to strip them of all of their armor, gather them up like so, and then just kind of watch them all die. And it doesn't take long. Even with these superpowered guys, the ones in the back that somehow still have some Overguard, it doesn't matter. They all die pretty quick, and when you've got an entire room full of enemies constantly running in, getting caught by your Aegis Storm, being lifted up, sucking their armor and stuff, you're constantly spamming the Gale Storm so that you can go ahead and... There we go. I'll just do that. You can see I don't really care so much. I'll go ahead and do this. All of their defenses are gone. Now we can go ahead and zoop them all up into one spot. My shields are doing just fine. Although for some reason I just turned off my Balefire Charger. Don't ask me why. But these guys don't stand a chance. This Hildryn build that I've put together is one of the few that I can go into Elite Temporal Archimedia and I can solo it. If that tells you anything, I have soloed ETA with this Hildryn build. It's just that good. And the build itself, because she has an exalted weapon and doesn't rely on base weapons or any of those other little fun things, you can just go ahead and take Hildryn, and then it doesn't matter what weapons you have, and you can get the maximum bonus points that you need, minus maybe that last one on the ETA checklist, which is just some pix chips. But if you don't care about those, you can just go ahead and set all the other modifiers, take whatever weapons you need, and then just run Hildryn, and then go into your 4 and with the combination of abilities that I have, she just never runs out of shields and everything around her dies, and I'm perfectly safe in my little bubble because nothing can touch me as long as I'm in the air. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And again, we're doing this video because right now, Hildryn is available in-game with the Prime Resurgence. I believe it is 2 Regal Aya if you just want to get Hildryn herself. I believe 6 Aya if you want to get her entire package, and then of course 10 if you want to get the entire Hildryn and Wisp combo. It's really a good deal. These 2 Warframes together are an amazing deal, and they're absolutely worth the money if you're willing to spend it on this game. So, that's it for me this week. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was fun to watch, gave you some insights or ideas. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below, what changes you would make to the build to make it your own. And if you have, again, any requests that you'd like to leave for me, you can do that as well in the comments or in my server. Next week is the launch of the Old Peace update in Warframe. So in a bit of a deviation from what I normally do, I am going to be attempting to go live on YouTube for the new update. So if that's something you are interested in, you want to hang out with me and check out the new content, then please remember to hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see all of you there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy your time in Warframe, and I will see you next time. Bye!